Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Go-To Aesthetics Coach, where we are going to talk all about strategy, growth, and the unapologetic pursuit of your wildest business goals. So, if you're a business owner, a med spa owner, an aesthetic injector, or a wellness entrepreneur who knows that you're made for more, this one's going to be for you. So, today's episode, it is called The Quantum Leap: Unlocking the Tech's Aesthetic Entrepreneur in You. And yes, we are going to go deep, so get ready. Because here's the truth. Most people don't need another marketing trick. I love marketing and all about it, and it is very powerful. But it's not the only thing we need. There's a lot more that goes into it. It's not all about tactics and strategies and pathways and algorithms. What they really need to do is they need to break free from the invincible glass ceiling that they've built around their very own potential. So let's get into that. Why most people don't grow. So let's be honest. Most people don't 10x. Most people increase incrementally, 10%, maybe 20% per year. When we think about all the different corporations out there, they're actually blocking this. So they're aiming for a 5% increase year over year, 10% increase, maybe 20% increase. Why don't we do a 10x that year? A few new clients here, a little bump in revenue there. It's not enough. But true entrepreneurs, when you really have the entrepreneurial mindset, the ones you admire, the ones who leap, the ones who build $1 million brands, they don't just improve. They actually multiply. They expand beyond their current self-image, and they actually have to rewire what they believe is possible. So here's the kicker. You're capable of so much more than you're currently executing for most of us. But you're not executing at your highest level because you unconsciously made an agreement with your limitations. And this actually starts very young in childhood. Because when you think about it, and I talk about this a lot, when you're a child, you're like, I'm going to be this when I grow up, because you don't have those limitations yet. Unfortunately, we get these over time, and our society kind of, builds us to them. But you don't have those limits as a kid. So why do we get them? Why do we stop there? So when you think about you probably had thoughts like this before, such as I can't say that. It will sound stupid. You might get a great idea and you actually don't share it because immediately it's like the brain process. It's like, oh my God, you have this great idea, and immediately it snaps back and it's like, no, you can't do that. Don't say it. You're gonna look stupid. This is what is built in us over time. Something like, who am I to post that, when you have a great idea, when you can actually share that, and it can actually be something that completely changes your identity and your branding and evolves your business. No one will take me seriously. I'm not ready yet. All these limiting beliefs, these are not facts. These are actually prison walls, and they're self-imposed. And a lot of the time they're happening subconsciously. We don't even realize because we don't know what we don't know. And honestly, a lot of this doesn't come to light until you actually start doing the work and you start making a conscious effort to think about it. So for me, these things didn't even pop into my mind until I started really diving deep into self-development and therapy and business mentors and workshops and all of these things. And it's so interesting to look back. I was reflecting on this day when I was going for a walk, and I was like, I'm a completely different person than I was a few years ago. And it's all due to the fact that I've done this work. And I didn't even, when I look back to the person I was a few years ago, I didn't even know that there was all this potential. And it's like, I just want everyone to do this because it opens up so many doors, and truly anything is possible. We just need to shed light on it and take action. So if you get an inspired idea and in the same breath, your brain shoots it down, that's the programming. This is the program that we need to work on. That's the voice of limitation. It's the problem. And the problem, it's not the idea. So it's that you never gave it space to breathe. We need to break through it. Okay, so let's move into the illusion of discomfort. This is a big one. Most people want the breakthrough, but they aren't actually willing to walk through the discomfort that unlocks it. Human beings don't like being uncomfortable. We've been trained to think that the moment something feels hard, messy, uncertain, or scary, that it's a sign to stop, to slow down, to play small. But in reality, that tension, that stretchy feeling, that's actually the green light. That's the moment where you're like, I need to do more of this. I need to go 100% all in. And you're not broken when you feel resistance. You're expanding. So this is a good thing. You're stepping beyond who you were yesterday, and you're inching closer to the version of you who runs the clinic of her dreams and books out her team months in advance and charges premium rates with confidence and becomes that go-to name in her city. Expansion and contraction coexist. This is a big point. I'm going to say it again. Expansion and contraction coexist. So when you feel contracted, it's okay. We have capacity. Remember, we have the capacity to feel contracted and expand at the same time. It doesn't mean that we need to pull back. You can feel pulled tight and still be safe. You can be scared and still move. That is the territory of quantum leaps, and quantum leaps are possible. As an example, when I left my full-time gig in the corporate world and I decided to go full in on my business and really like build it up, I 16x'd in 3 months. That's called a quantum leap. So this is what we want to do. Okay, so let's now kind of jump into what happens when you open the door to next thinking, quantum leap thinking. So I want you to take a deep breath. Okay. And now imagine this. You stop playing small. You stop editing your ideas to fit what you think your audience will accept. This is a big one. People are scared and they don't let their true version come out. You stop questioning your voice, your presence, your ideas, and you show up fully 100%. Powerfully, creatively, you treat discomfort not as a warning, but as a compass. You take action before you're ready, and suddenly you realize how powerful you are. This is when magic happens, okay? And here's the thing. It doesn't come from having the best advice or the most followers. It comes from your decision within yourself to do the work and to grow. You don't just add more treatments to your service, okay? You become a bigger container, a bigger brand, and a bolder leader and a new identity. All right, let's kind of hone it in for aesthetic entrepreneurs, because this is my niche and my vision of what I really want to do. I want to help as many aesthetic entrepreneurs on this planet as possible. And not only in, when I say that, it's not only how do we bring the most success to our business, it's how are we the most fulfilled in ourselves within our business. Because there's big difference here. You can be very, very successful and have an amazing business that brings in a large revenue, but you can be really unhappy because you're actually doing the things that you never wanted to do. You're not actually fulfilling your dream. You're overworked. You're working 14-hour days. You work 7 days a week. Like, the money doesn't make sense when you're doing that. The whole gain here and the goal is that we want to be doing what's fulfilling and what's truly aligned within ourselves and what our goals are, because we can lose touch with that over time. And then money's the byproduct, because this is the big secret here. When you truly become aligned and you follow your vision and you don't think about money, when you do this and you put all truly the steps forward without fear, past the contraction, to expand and to just go 100% into what you want to do truly within yourself, the money is a byproduct and it will always come. And this is where people get a big leap, because they think they have to actually follow the money first and that's number one priority, but it's not. You got to kind of change your way of thinking and doing things. The number one priority is doing what's fully aligned with you, and then the money will always be a byproduct. So let's bring this home back to aesthetics. If you're an injector or a clinic owner or like a skin therapist, and you felt, and you felt that pull for more, that wasn't random, okay? When you get this pull, that was actually your higher self that was whispering, you're capable of building something iconic. But that iconic brand doesn't come from safe. It's going to come from bold. So from raising your prices when you're scared, launching the service that no one in your town is doing, showing up on video even if your voice shakes or cracks like mine just did, pitching the skincare line or the wholesale account or distribution contract that you've been sitting on, hiring the employee who will give you your time back. That version of you, she's already inside. She just needs you to get out of her way. Okay, so now let's talk about the power of deciding. This is really important. Growth isn't something that actually happens to you. It's something that you have to make a decision to do, an intentional decision. So that, let's make that moment right now. Whether you're listening to this while you're driving or on a walk or at work in the background while you're cleaning, make a decision with yourself right now. And I want to hear you say it out loud. I am deciding to become the 10x version of myself. Say it. I'm deciding to become the 10x version of myself. Today. It starts now. We're not wasting any more time. It starts now. Not by accident, not by chance, but by action. This is a key word, action. It always has to do with implementation and action. You trust your ideas. You're going to bet on yourself And you show up even when it's uncomfortable. You start before you're ready. We don't need to have all our ducks lined in a row. This is one of the biggest mistakes I see in business. We don't have to be ready. We don't have to have it figured out. Just go, just implement it, put action. That's a true entrepreneur. And that's how you get ahead. And that's how you do quantum leap. You become obsessed with becoming more. And you don't care about how to do it. You just do it. And over time that changes everything. So I want to leave you with 3 powerful steps that will help guide you into this next level. 1, believe that you can make it happen. Don't just say, yeah, don't just say, I believe I can have it. Do whatever work you have to do to truly believe within yourself that you can make this happen. This might not be something that is immediate, but you can start the work now. It's not wishing, it's not hoping, it's believing. And your next leap is going to start the moment that you stop outsourcing your power and start anchoring into possibility. 2, stretch yourself to make it happen. Stretching is uncomfortable, but remember, uncapped growth means uncertainty. That's not a threat, it's a gift. It's about expanding your capacity for resiliency, trust, and courage. The 3rd one, be okay with the unknown. You don't need a 5-step proven formula. You need to leave the brain and tap into the heart and soul. That's how you build a heart-led business that feels good every day you wake up. And that's how it becomes what you want, not just what you have to do to make it work. And there's always another way. Give yourself the experience of let's see. Be willing to be surprised. That's what true innovation is. We don't need evidence. We need a vision. You don't need permission to expand. You don't need more time to be ready, and you don't need a fancy certificate to lead. You need a decision, and that decision happens now. So if you're listening to this, today is the day that we're all going to make it change. You're closer than you think. Your next level isn't on the other side of a marketing course or a fancy rebrand, even though I love that, and it does help, but we want to go deeper than that. It's on the other side of saying yes to the biggest version of yourself. X isn't hype. It's available to everyone right now. And all you have to do is claim it. The amount of people that I've seen before my eyes in my mentorship groups who have gone from 0 to, I'm not even joking, millions of dollars per month in revenue within a year time frame. I've seen it with my own eyes over and over and over and over again. Okay, it's possible. And if you want to work, with someone, with a business mentor and have help to make this happen, you can reach me on my Instagram. I have a link there in my bio. You can book a coaching call. It's something I'm really passionate about. But yeah, I wanted to share this today because there's so much out there for us. And a lot of the time we just need to really think about it and do the work and implement. So, and as an extension of that, I would love to personally workshop your next big leap in identity, capacity, and revenue, and help bring it to life with strategy and confidence and soul, all the things that we talked about. But until next time, I want you to stay bold. I want you to stay brave. And I will see you in the next episode. Have a good day, guys, and talk to you soon.